through Hancock County, but near North Baltimore 916, Van Buren at 920, Bloomdale at 928, Fostoria, if it holds together, at 942, and beyond that to the east as we go past 930, 945. So there's the rotation. Got that red next to green just north of Lipstick, and we've had getting more and more pictures and videos of storm chasers safely taking pictures and video of the system. There's a brand new sweep for you, and it confirms that that rotation is still there. Wherever you see these areas of red next to the areas of green, that's where there's most likely that rotation above. And we go back to the reflectivity, if we would, and we saw that notch that was forming back there, and still a little bit of a hint of that. You see that right there, that little bit of a notch indicating there's a different wind flow, and the radar beams hit that a little differently, or there's a void, if you will, in the rainfall. That could be also a sign confirming that velocity product we just saw. This would be a little hail core to the north. Haven't had many reports of large hail with this in Ohio. We have had bigger reports in west and Indiana. I think it was southwestern Hillsdale County or northeastern Indiana. There were 2-inch, 3-inch hailstones that were falling between about 6 and 7 o'clock tonight. But that's a little bit of hail west of Bartlow, north of Belmore. We're in southern Henry County here. This is northern Putnam County. And then to the east, we get into parts of Wood County and also northern Hancock County. So if we zoom out a little bit more, there's Findlay. Looks like Findlay has been removed from the warning.
Yes, I believe they have.
Okay.
They just updated the tornado warning, and they did shave Findlay. It does continue until 9:15 p.m. though. Moving east at 40 miles an hour, so it's slowed down a little bit, and it's currently for radar indicated rotation. So we were talking, it was a confirmed tornado, maybe not confirmed on the ground, but still an obvious couplet.
Right. So moving to the east. So right now they've trimmed that. They've kind of refined the width of that warning. So if I was in Findlay, I would not put my guard down yet, because these do have the habit of turning to the right or sometimes diving to the southeast if they're moving to the east. So officially now Findlay is in the watch. Conditions right, we're watching, versus the warning. But just north of you, through North Baltimore, and I believe just north of North Baltimore is where the warning extends. So we're watching this area still, southern Wood County, northern Hancock County, and to that cell, you can see where that little hail core is near Bartlow. That's the most intense part of the storm, right near that county line between Henry and Putnam counties.
And the tornado watch does remain in effect for the entire viewing area except for Erie and Huron counties. That goes through 11 p.m. So still under the gun, still keeping a close eye on this situation. We'll have to see if they extend it eastward here, but our primary concern continues to be this tornado warning. That's right now for the southeastern corner of Henry County, northeastern corner of Putnam County, stretches east into southern Wood and northern Hancock counties. Now, maybe some of you just joining us in the Toledo area, you heard the sirens going off 5-10 minutes ago. What you may have been hearing was the sirens in Wood County just across the Maumee River. When they get a tornado warning in Wood County, they will sound the sirens for the entire county. So places up north towards Perrysburg, Rossford, Northwood, you are not under this tornado warning. So if you heard the sirens off, it's south of Bowling Green. That's where the warning is. And again, this storm is tracking east at about 40 miles per hour. So we'll put another track on it real quick. We'll get it as fast as we can get it across the screen. But Hancock, I believe the town, at 9:02, North Baltimore 9:16, assuming this holds together, 9:22 for Bairdstown, 9:27 for Bloomdale, and then Fostoria at 9:38, and getting further east as we get into the following hour.
All right, and if there's any way back behind the scenes, any way to hop over to Weather 2, kind of gives you a better idea of the warnings. Okay. Weather, max 2, there you go. We're showing the warnings on top and below the actual radar map. So we're seeing this a little bit better to give you an idea of where that warned area is north of Findlay, and that warned area is now just north of the official, city of Findlay, just south of Bowling Green, and we're still watching that cell, almost getting more of a hook signature to it as we look here to the northwest of Findlay, a little bit more of a hook to it as it moves due east at 50 miles per hour. That's the only active warning we have. Have a stronger storm in Monroe County. Have a couple lightning strikes just west of Toledo. But so far, the northeastern, let's say, half of the area has been spared the majority of that intense weather. So we're looking at the radar. Let me put it in motion for you. This would be a 1-hour animation. And you can see how that storm, I'm going to put it 3 hours. And you can see how that storm has crossed from Indiana, looking near Fort Wayne. That cell has formed a warning, another warning, another warning, and another warning. So that cell, that's why sometimes these longer track storm systems, we have to bear watching, because if they have the right ingredients and there's nothing to slow them down, those conditions continue. So if you look for Paulding, watch near Paulding, watch north of Ottawa, watch north of Findlay. So that kind of tells you the path of that thing as it's moving almost due east, perhaps initially a little bit to the northeast, east-northeast, but now moving to the east and holding together, losing some lightning again. Kind of been pulsing up and down when it comes to lightning strikes. But just a different look at things as we look up in Michigan, too. Some of those warnings popping up as they've been moving through for the past several hours, since about 6 p.m. tonight.
Producers behind the scenes, you can take it back to our primary weather computer, Weather One. We got the warning system sort of set up, and now you can see overlaid over top of the storm the outline, the boundaries of that tornado warning for southern Wood and northern Hancock counties. And again, that goes through 9:15 for radar indicated rotation, moving east at 40 miles per hour. And that area of rotation right now is likely just over Belmore, just south of Bartlow, northwest of Townwood, due north of Lipsick, right there in the backside of this system. So please be in your safe space. And if you've been there maybe 15, 20 minutes. You're in northern Putnam County, southern Henry County. You've been waiting. Hey, I'm ready for this to be over. Just give it a few more minutes. Let this warning expire. Tornadoes are often on the backside of the storm, so you hear the winds dying down, the rain dying down. Don't allow that to lull you into a false sense of security, and then you accidentally step into that tornado as you leave your safe space. So just give this a few more minutes. Let this pass. Hamler, Lipsick, even Holgate. Just let this storm get off to the east. But if you're currently in Wood County, northern Hancock County, get ready. This storm is heading your direction in just a few minutes. North Baltimore areas due north of Findlay, Macomb, Van Buren, Bloomingdale, Hoytville, Signet, Hancock. All of these communities need to be in your safe space right now. This is a tornado warning. It's for radar indicated rotation currently, but this storm has a history of producing tornadoes on the ground, damaging tornadoes. We've seen debris getting lofted up on radar. There was a confirmed touchdown for at least a little while in Paulding County, again in Putnam County. And it wouldn't surprise me with the radar signature, the behind-the-scenes rotation we're seeing, if this does produce another tornado on the ground. So please be in your safe space and just stay there until this warning expires.
I do want to take over just for a second here to show just on the outskirts here, but keeping a close eye on this one just south of Allen County. There's in fact a tornado-warned storm that has been crossing over closer to Wapakoneta and is moving due east. Again, well out of the viewing area, but very close to it. If you're in southern Wyandotte County, I would keep an especially close eye on this one. Most of this is expected to stay south of Allen County, but again, you still have that potential. It is outside the viewing area, but just something to keep in mind. Even just looking a little bit farther up to the north, just keeping a check in on Monroe County. Quite a sizable little batch of lightning there, just about to cross over 24, or is on top of 24 right now, and over most of 75. So if you're driving up north from Ohio, going up to Detroit or even Monroe itself, that's what you're going to encounter here. Might just want to wait an extra 15 to 30 minutes before you make that trek north.
And I'm going to go ahead and take over here because we've been working behind the scenes to look at some photos and videos that are being submitted by people on the ground. We're getting word from our producer that we can go ahead and pull up that video that you're seeing right here on your screen. A funnel cloud that is just in Melrose, Ohio. So that's in Paulding County. That's the eastern side of Paulding County that is no longer under the tornado warning. But this video was submitted to us at around 8:41. So you can see that defined structure there to that funnel cloud. And this is, again, the same exact cell that had that confirmed tornado. And it's unclear whether or not right now this is the tornado that touched and then went back up, or this is something that has yet to touch the ground. But this is our eyes on the ground confirmation showing and really confirming what we've been seeing from the sky. So viewers, thank you so much for submitting your videos. It's also very key for us to tell this information to the National Weather Service so that they can prepare people east of the area, expand those tornado warnings as see possible. So anything that is submitted to us here at the First Alert Weather Team, we immediately relay to our partners out in the National Weather Service so that they can take it even further, start issuing those warnings, and again, providing that on the ground truth. So thank you for submitting those. And again, if you can do it safely, that is key. Want to make sure that you guys are staying safe in this. You can do so through our website, 13abc.com.
And you know what, the cell we're watching here, again, our screens are here, Dan's back there, there's screens everywhere. That cell entering now northwestern Hancock County, I wouldn't be surprised if Findlay gets re-added to this warning. That's too close for comfort in my book. Aaron has something brand new, a new warning?
It's the
Or it's just-
extension
okay.
of the same one, so it's bringing back into what we were seeing just a little bit before. So it's the very northern part of Hancock County, yes. It's very much just confirming what we've already been warning the viewers about, but this is showing that the dangerous thunderstorm is now located near Deschler, so it's just northwest of Findlay. And that, again, is more so something that is radar indicated rather than something that is confirmed on the ground at this point in time. But this was the same exact storm that did produce that funnel cloud that we just showed a few minutes ago that truly had that tornadic structure.
All right, so let's zoom in here for you folks that don't know that part of our viewing area. You've got Belmore, you've got Hoytville, you've got Bartlow. Deschler's back in, I believe, parts of Putnam or Henry County. So that's the very back edge of the storm as it's about to clear. So the warned area, this back warning will be expiring at 9:15. So if I draw a line here for you, 9:15, if you live west of that line, this will be dropping here in about 9 minutes, as the tail end of the storm, of course, can be the most dangerous. So that's 9 minutes away. As we go east of that line, I'll redraw the line, areas over here in parts of Wood and Hancock County, that goes until 9:45. Is that correct, everybody? We're getting confirmation. Let's see here, 9:15.
9:15,
Okay,
it's 9:15.
sorry, 9:15. So only 10 more minutes.
I believe the storm has slowed down a few.
Has,
It was
but-
going 55 miles an hour. Now it's going 40.
40.
So
Okay.
they
Yes.
may need to extend this.
Yes.
We're still seeing the area of rotation. We are still concerned about this storm. So 9:15 is when this warning expires. We'll see what they do between now and then. But for the meantime, if you're under this tornado warning, please just stay in your safe space for the time being.
Yeah, and look at what's going on south of us, folks. We're on the very northern edge of this instability of the threat, and it is obviously much more intense south of us, parts of central, eastern Indiana, Dayton area, south of Lima to Dayton, all kinds of active warnings. So we just have this individual cells, these discrete cells that did pop up today, had a couple reports of tornadoes, and still have this active cell. The only warning we have is now entering parts of southwestern Wood County and northwestern Hancock County. That is a warning till 9:15. We are expecting that warning to be expanded or extended for, what time is it right now? It's about 9:06. So for that to race to the east, it's moving at 40, 45 miles per hour. For it to get to the eastern half of that county in about 7-8 minutes, seems like, and the Weather Service is doing a great job tonight working on the warnings, staying ahead of the expirations and the extensions. So we're thinking that even though the storm, you're warned till 9:15 at this point, we might see something extend into parts of Seneca County, parts of, let's say maybe parts of southwestern Sandusky County. Dan Smith has an update. Did they just extend it?
No, I was looking at over towards
There's Dan.
Paulding County. Van Wert County EMA relaying a photo of a tornado. This is going off of a storm report, or at least emergency manager, saying further investigation confirmed this damaged house. So this is a report, they're saying 1 mile west of Charlotte, at least in Paulding County. So that was on that, well, basically the cell that we're looking at right now.
And that was back just after 8 o'clock, so about an hour ago.
About an hour ago, and that's about the time I think Derek and Dan were seeing debris.
Yes.
One of our Doppler radar modes is to see debris signatures. The radar is looking for raindrops and hailstones, and when there's other stuff in the air, it reflects back differently to the radar, and it says that's different than the rest of it. It could be insulation, could be shingles, it could be, in this case, soil. I believe they detected soil was lifted up in the air. So this is the same cell, and that's why we're still on TV. This cell has crossed into Ohio. This all began up in Hillsdale County, Williams County. This developed south of Fort Wayne, and it's been moving off to the east. You see the part of the cell just clearing now, just about to clear parts of Henry and Putnam counties, but it's going to be North Baltimore, areas north of Findlay. Bowling Green, you should be okay. Bowling Green, you're just seeing some rain. You maybe heard the sirens a little bit ago because what happens in Wood County, we hit the sirens, the whole county is activated. So folks in Perrysburg, folks up in Millbury, in Northwood area, you probably heard the sirens as well. It's for this cell that's now down here near North Baltimore, south of Bowling Green, north of Findlay, moving east at now 40 miles per hour. So we'll see. The expiration time is in about 6 minutes. So with the threat now over here, it's not going to get here in the next 6 minutes. So we'll see what happens if the expiration comes up. Perhaps the cell will weaken in the next 5 minutes, but if you live anywhere like Fostoria, along US 23, into, as I mentioned, Seneca, Sandusky counties, this may hold together and move your way. So just kind of prep and make sure if you have family or friends down there, they're aware as well. All right, because right now it's going to be north of Findlay, south of BG. That is the corridor on the Wood County, Hancock County line where conditions are the worst at this time.
And where we're seeing that rotation, it does appear like that rotationing may be weakening, Jay. So that could be one of the reasons they haven't extended yet. So this is a piece of good news. When we look behind the scenes at our velocity, we'll flip things over here to show you what we're looking at. But the rotation's not looking as intense as it did. So we'll back it up a few frames. It's kind of just coming into sight of the radar site there, but there is still broad rotation. We say that broad rotation aloft, so it still has the potential to produce a tornado. That's why the tornado warning continues, but signs it is weakening. So that is a piece of good news. But nonetheless, you're in North Baltimore, around Van Buren, north of Findlay, Macomb, Hoytville, Winston, Jerry City, Signet, Bloomingdale, Arcadia. I'd stay in your safe space just for now. Let's just give it just a few more minutes to see how this develops.
Yeah, so we can get an even better look. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll give you a better look at that rotation. So we can select all kinds of Doppler radars throughout the area. If we pick the closest one, we'll see if we can pick up a little bit better on what's going on down there. So yeah, it's looking still like it has some rotation, but like you mentioned, perhaps not quite as vibrant colors or a couplet that we were seeing as it moved into parts of Ohio. So there's your view. Still something going on down there, and still the warning for the next 4 minutes. And perhaps, that still looks like there is a notch in the front of that. If you folks can see what we're talking about here, that right here.
There's still some hail with it as well that radar's picking up on us.
So, and if I kind of go back and forth, do you see how it's developing?
Just within the last few frames, it could be trying to redevelop. That area of rotation weakened, but it may just be, starting to form. You don't see the curve in that counterclockwise inflow on the southeast side of that system.
Right, so right here, we're kind of looking at that. That wasn't there a few scans ago. So watch right here. I'll back it up a few minutes. And that was more just right there. Not there. Now it's there. So, Derek, I agree. That shows perhaps redeveloping velocity or rotation.
Yeah, and this radar scan updates, every minute or even less than that. So we get this data in fresh. This would be just west of North Baltimore, just west of 75, due north of Macomb. You see that inflow notch. It may be that rotation may be trying to re-intensify. It was weakening. Right now the tornado warning expires at 9:15. We'll have to see if they extend it. And I'm going to be honest with you, even if they don't, even if they let this expire, if I was in North Baltimore right now, Macomb, some of these communities, northern Hancock County, southern Wood County, I'd stay in my safe place for just a few more minutes. Let this storm get by because there's still some obvious rotation. It still has the chance to produce a tornado. This is something we're still concerned about. So just hang tight. Let this get by. This storm has a history of producing tornadoes. Maybe you're just joining us. Back in Paulding County, we've had videos sent to us of funnel clouds, reports of damage that direction, and as well as another report of a tornado on the ground in northeastern Putnam County as it was tracking to the east. But now the cell moving almost due east at 40 miles per hour, pretty close to the Hancock-Wood County line. And we're just watching very closely for the potential for some redevelopment of that area of rotation right at the southern edge of that storm.
And just to reiterate this, by the way, we talk about this radar hole that we're in sometimes. This storm, unfortunately, is practically right in the middle of it, where you're looking still some thousands of feet above in the atmosphere. Tornadoes, well, they're more of a low-level event, as you can imagine, so it's hard to pick up on some of the fineness of this. But even though it's showing signs of rotation thousands of feet above ground level, it may be translating to even worse at the surface. And this is from just what we can see. you can really see that, what Jay was talking about right there. I'm going to step back on the screen where you can see that bit of a hook where we're looking at there. That's essentially just south of North Baltimore, almost riding the county line here between Hancock and Wood County. That is drawn very well on that tornado warning right now. Putting it back into motion just briefly, you can see that it's almost perfectly ridden that county line at the moment, and that's where you see that little bit of a notch, that little bit of a curve in that radar signature. That's one of several things that we do look at as far as this is concerned. So as Derek mentioned, North Baltimore especially, get in your safe space, the lowest centermost part of your house. Hoytville, Hancock is essentially just past you right now. Again, keep in mind that these radar scans can be up to a few minutes old at a time, so it's not right here exactly. At this point, it's probably practically over North Baltimore and making its way over towards I-75.
So yeah, just please stay in your safe space here. Oh, sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, stay in your safe space, but that warning has now expired. At 9:15, they've expired at 30 seconds early. Storm which prompted the warning has weakened below severe limits and no longer appears capable of producing a tornado. Therefore, the warning will be allowed to expire. There is that watch until 11 p.m., so they're giving us the heads up on that. But that will disappear, that red area, here in a matter of moments, will disappear, despite still some rotation in that, like you said. Warning or not, if you lived in North Baltimore, Jerry City, West Millgrove, Arcadia, Van Buren, Hoytville, Macomb, I would stay in your safe spot for the next 30 minutes, if not longer, because of the threat there for this one to redevelop. This has been pulsing, getting stronger, weaker. We get more lightning, less lightning, but definitely the warning, there it goes. The warning now has expired, therefore, officially, Wood and Hancock County. So we have no active warnings right now.
I personally would stay on at least a little while longer here. I mean, this thing still looks like it's packing a punch, despite them saying, the storm is weakening. I can certainly see that, but where you're looking at that notch, that rotation is still fairly prominent. Now, granted, again, it is, like we just said, thousands of feet up in the atmosphere where you're seeing that lowest possible scan, just kind of right in the middle of 4, or technically 5 radars that we do have at our disposal, and that is including kind of down towards Wilmington, just for example, basically Dayton, Cincinnati area, which themselves are getting hit by some of the severe weather in a short time now. But just because there's no warning, we always reiterate this, or even if you're just outside of perhaps a warning box, don't say that you're in the clear entirely on this one. This is still a very potent storm and has the ability to really spin up at any old time, as we've been seeing in this rotation. Long track tornadoes. It's not just brief spin ups, but we've been seeing these tornado warnings get issued, reissued, just going downstream. And that has been the running theme here. So we don't exactly trust this to be an all clear situation, especially for North Baltimore and rolling down I-75. So we're going to stay on at least a few minutes longer, I'd imagine.
Yeah, just a few minutes, and we'll get back to programming because the tornadic part of this coverage seems to have ended for now. But we'll just give this a few more scans, let the radar look through it. Weather Service just sent an additional note saying we have indeed canceled that warning. So they're on it. They're watching the cell like we are. They're the ones that issue the warnings, watches, and cancel them and extend them. So they're looking at it. It does have less of that signature now, so that's good. Does have the hail still. You see those areas that pop up as gray or silver on the map? Those are still areas to kind of watch when it comes to small hail. That cell never has had the history of producing some large hail. And I'll tell you what, Toledoans, if you're watching and you've been watching from Toledo, thank you. You saw some nasty looking clouds. You saw some of those, the shelf cloud come through. Perhaps northern Lucas County, parts of Fulton County, but the storm's kind of split. Have you heard this one before? Around Toledo. So we're looking here at areas to the north of us. Monroe has a pretty hefty thunderstorm that is not severe. That's now over the Fermi 2, also over, let's say, downtown Monroe. So a very loud thunderstorm with that. Quick little downpour, about a 1/4 inch of rain. So we're watching this carefully, of course, as it hits that breeze perhaps off the lake, but that is not severe. But lightning strikes as you get north of Monroe up towards Wayne County. Zooming southward, we still have these cells developing here in northwest Ohio. That is our main event, not severe at this time. So there's your watch. We still have a tornado watch until 11 p.m. What we'll see, though, I think, is that the Weather Service will start to expire that from west to east before 11 o'clock as the atmosphere hopefully starts to calm down. But this is pretty much what we thought would happen. Clusters of storms. We've had numerous warnings. A new warning, Monroe, No?
No, what's curious is new tornado watch is now including Huron County. So at least
Erie?
from what I'm reading right now
Okay.
out of Weather Service
Okay.
office in Cleveland. So not Erie County, but Huron County apparently.
Okay, so we're going to fill in some of the eastern parts. Maybe it's for this cell they're watching right here.
Yeah.
I don't think they're convinced, like we're not convinced, that we're completely in the clear with that. It may have weakened for now, but think about that. If that track's due east, where does it take it, right? Right into Huron County. So Erie County folks, keep weather aware for the next few hours. But yes, that would make sense. Cleveland expanding the tornado watch, meaning conditions are favorable, we're watching the weather, pretty much because of that cell that's had the history of rotation, history of funnel clouds, history of tornadoes with that back in Paulding County and parts of Indiana. So that makes sense. We'll see if this fills in momentarily, but even more intense weather just to our south here, and there it is. All right, Dan, thanks for the heads up. So you can see behind the green, we've got some ground clutter over there, but indeed, a new watch issued for much of Cleveland's area. That does include Huron County, but any time frame on that, guys? Huron County?
Huron County, I'm going to I'm not going to assume. Let's go ahead and look
Don't-
at it. So we're going to
Dan,
Just in the meantime, sorry, while you're finding that one,
we'll get to that in a second.
golf ball-sized hail reported in Hillsdale County. So that report just coming
Okay.
in, and this was
Earlier
from,
today.
a little bit ago here,
Okay.
but 1.7, 1 3/4 inches. That was
So-
reported at 7:43. So that was a
743.
really
Okay.
potent one.
Hillsdale, golf ball size.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If we could, while we're waiting, Derek, can we zoom out? I want to show the extent of this
Yes.
storm system today.
It's vast.
I mean, it goes really, if we turn the radar to the NOWRAD, which includes much of the area, till 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
All right, it's not going to go to 4 a.m. for us, trust
No.
me. It'll be like 11 o'clock, if that, with that cell moving across I-75 right now. So 4 a.m. includes, watch this pop up. Wait for it. There it is. Do you see it?
We'll
We're
pause it at
talking-
the end.
Yeah,
There you go.
so 4 a.m., we're expecting these storms to be probably across the Ohio River at that point. So again, as they cancel from west to east, we'll just say that watch probably through 11 o'clock, maybe midnight for Huron County, but that's for that one cell. But look at this. Look at the lightning north of Cincinnati, Dayton area, west of Columbus. They too have the chance for that rotation. Even more north of Chicago. They got hit earlier today with this band up near Milwaukee. They've got all kinds of warnings. So it's not just in the warm sector of this. Perhaps some upper energy air and some extra spin up there in parts of Wisconsin affecting that. So for us, right now, it's just a watch. All warnings have been allowed to expire at this point. We're going to wait a few more minutes before we go back to programming just to make sure as we examine that cell. Anybody seen anything special with that cell in North Baltimore?
I'm still seeing some broader rotation with it, Jay, but
Okay.
nothing that's incredibly tight,
Okay.
incredibly bright. Nothing that I would put a tornado warning there for,
Okay.
but there's still rotation. And what we've seen over the last few hours is that all it takes is a matter of minutes for something like this to become dangerous. So for those in North Baltimore and southern Wood County, definitely going to want to stay weather aware over the next 20 minutes. Just ride out this storm on the back side of this. Maybe a few isolated thunder showers behind this, but this is your severe threat, and you're going to be seeing this roll through in the next 30 minutes.
Okay. All right. We're going to give it about 30 more seconds. We're going to wrap things up here unless anybody else has seen anything dangerous on the radars. We have no active warnings. We do have that watch until 11 o'clock officially. For Huron County, the watch goes until 4 a.m. We're thinking more like 11 o'clock here for Huron County. Much longer time frame east of us, outside of our viewing area for that watch. But we've been on the air since just after the 6 o'clock news tonight. Great job, team. Behind the scenes, folks, thank you for staying with us. And they push the buttons, they keep the mics good, they keep us looking good, and information from the news department, too, to get us the updates on the sirens being heard. Dan, of course, was on
Yes.
Facebook Live saying there's reports of sirens going off. So a real team effort here at 13 Action News to keep you informed and what we say all the time, ahead of the storm. And
Yeah.
giving you the first alert. So right now, a tornado watch until 11 p.m. officially. The most concerned cell we have is just north of Findlay, near North Baltimore, moving to the east. So folks in Sandusky County, Seneca County, stay weather aware. We'll keep the crawl up, we'll keep information coming, and hop back on the air if we need to.
Yes,
All
we'll
right.
be watching the rest of this evening, just in case.
All right, team's here for you. Stay safe, stay weather aware. We'll be here all night for you. Stay with 13 Action News for weather updates. Now let's head back to regular programming.